Hello, welcome. I am so glad you're here. And welcome to another Middle Grade Monday. Now, as I have done in the past, I am actually doing this at the end because that way I already know which books I'm going to pick out. And this week, which was really more like 10 days, we're going to do Wolf Hollow by Lauren Wolk. Hyson Newberry, so I'm fairly sure that's going to be good. We are going to do A Week in the Woods by Andrew Clements. This is another one of my green books that I wanted to get done in March. And simply because it fit the buzzword challenge from Books and Lala, Door of No Return by Kwame Alexander. So let's read. I am going to start Wolf Hollow, which is not about a wolf. Despite growing up in the shadows cast by 2 world wars, Annabelle has lived a mostly quiet life, steady in her small Pennsylvania town, until the day a new student, Betty Glengarry, walks into her class. Betty quickly reveals herself to be cruel and manipulative. Though her bullying seems isolated at first, it quickly escalates. So I have my headphones. You guys are on my husband's phone, and I am going to go out and do some yard work, so I'm going to be listening to this. And I will give you an update probably about halfway-ish, see what's going on. I'm not sure yet. I'm really looking forward to this, so I'm a little scared that I'm not gonna like it because that tends to happen with me a lot. So, but yeah, I'm gonna listen to this and I'm gonna pull some weeds and you're gonna come with me. So not great, but I found my succulents, and look, this one's trying to bloom. And these ones can now see the sun and get some water. Not that they take much water, but look at these guys blooming. How pretty they are. I don't know if you can see them. Normally, we leave the weeds because we want the lupin. And normally we get a ton of lupin. That's a lupin. But we barely have any this year for some reason. This is normally almost solid lupin. And we think they're pretty, so we leave them. So it's a start. Now I need to work on those. And those are the grapes being buried alive. I'm going to go get cleaned up now, and then we'll talk about the book. Definitely need some water. I probably should have been wearing a mask. I'm just beginning to get allergies, and I'm actually very new to all of this. But yeah, I can feel it in the back of my throat. Like I said, I should have been wearing a mask. I probably should have been wearing my sunglasses, but that's not what we're here for. So I am about a third of the way. I'm liking it. I want to read the very first line of the book. The year I turned 12, I learned how to lie. It doesn't mean the little lies that kids tell, but big, serious, real lies fed by real fears. It's the autumn of 1943. She says here, her life at the schoolhouse would have been a peaceful place, at least until everything fell to pieces that terrible November, and I was called upon to tell my catalog of lies. And that's Annabelle. Annabelle's telling us the story. It would have been peaceful at school, except that it's not because of Betty. And Betty is not nice. Betty's slightly older. Annabelle is about to turn 12. Betty's a little bit older. She's a big girl, and she's been sent to live with her grandparents because she was incorrigible. Annabelle wants to know, why does that mean they get stuck with her? Annabelle has 2 little brothers. Henry is 9 and James is 7. There are 8 people who live in the house. Her parents, her 2 brothers and herself, her grandparents, and Aunt Lily. Aunt Lily? That doesn't sound right, but I think that's right. Betty's new at school, and there's not enough room, so Annabelle automatically just gives up her seat. Like a lot of other kids, she squeezes into one desk, but she gets to share a desk with her best friend, Ruth. Because Betty is sitting right behind them, Annabelle is covered in spitballs, and she has red sores all over herself because she's getting poked with the pencil. Betty is just making things miserable for her. I think it's because she thinks Annabelle is rich. And Annabelle isn't rich, though it's kind of funny because she lists off all these things that they have that other people don't have, but they're not rich. They are more comfortable than I think sounds like anybody else in the area. So probably to Betty, they are rich. And I'm not giving anything away. I'm not going to speak about anything that happens beyond chapter 2. Annabelle has to bring Betty something, otherwise she's going to beat her up or beat up one of the little brothers. We've learned why it's called Wolf Hollow, and that's because they used to capture wolves. They used to dig pits, capture the wolves, and kill them. Part of the reason why Annabelle said that this would have been a good time of year is because the big boys aren't in the schoolhouse. The big boys sleep throughout the day and are disruptive in the class, but they're not usually there when they are needed on the farm. It's during World War II, and they are exempt from fighting because they are producing food on the farm. So we're learning a lot about like what her daily life is like. She says that her farm is a place where a lot of people would travel through, like people moving from one state to another, or vagabonds. And one of the vagabonds is Toby, and Toby just happened to stay because this is after the Great Depression. So there are plenty of buildings that have been abandoned, and Toby has taken up in a smokehouse that is just off the farm property line. So it's very close to where Annabelle and her family lives. These are all the kinds of things that are happening so far. I don't want to give anything away because the back of the book does not say very much. It's kind of day-to-day life of what it's like, and I'm really into it. I'm really interested. I am going to keep the pigtails because I need to get some housework done, but I no longer have another phone. So you are my audiobook, so I need to do that without you being with me. And I will join you again in just a second for you, but a couple hours probably for me, with a wrap-up of Wolf Hollow by Lauren Wolk. I haven't said that yet, Lauren Wolk. So there's not a lot. I finished the book, Wolf Hollow. Again, I said it, I know, ad nauseum last year, but there's a reason why these win a Newbery. What to say? There's not a lot that I can say without giving away something that's not covered by the blurb. Betty is not your typical bully. She really just isn't. She's above and beyond. One of the big boys, I mentioned the big boys before that just sleep in the class, and they're kind of rude to the teacher and everything. They don't come very often. One of them is Andy. Andy is instantly taken with Betty. I picture Betty as being like 14-ish. And Andy as being maybe 15, 16. They are two peas in a pod, and things get really bad. So what the book does say, what the description does say, is that Betty starts to go after Toby. And that's when Annabelle knows that she needs to do something. And it's significant. I'll put it that way. It was so good. I could not stop listening to it. I got some kitchen stuff done, but I ended up doing the puzzle to listen to it. Just loved it. I'm resting. I think I'm going to do a 4.5. I wish there was something else that I could tell you, but I really don't want to give anything away. If you like historical fiction at all, I highly recommend it. Wolf Hollow, Lauren Wolk. Next, I am going to read A Week in the Woods by Andrew Clements. It's also one of my green books for the month of March. I'll read you the back. It says, I never noticed there's a smiley face sticker on there. A collision course. The 5th grade Week in the Woods is a beloved tradition of Hardy Elementary where Mark Glensley, the 4th, is pretty much killing time before his parents send him off to an exclusive prep school. But when Mark realizes the week might be a chance to prove to Mr. Maxwell that he's not just another of the slacker rich kids the teacher can't stand. But it may be too late for Mark to change Mr. Maxwell's opinion of him. On the first day of the week, the tension between teacher and student explodes, and in a reckless moment, Mark puts not only himself but also Mr. Maxwell in grave danger. Can two such strong adversaries work together to save their lives? Okay, I didn't know any of that, so that's pretty good. I just saw a picture. Oh, okay, it's a map. I'm not going to look at it. I'm really looking forward to this. I really like Andrew Clements' books, so A Week in the Woods. Yeah, I guess I've got time right now. I'm going to start. page 26, which is the start of chapter 5. And I like this so far. It's cute, it's readable. We start off meeting Mr. Maxwell. He's the 5th grade teacher who has been running the Week in the Woods program since it started many, many years ago. I forget how many years, but it's been a very long time, and it's the favorite thing of the kids in 5th grade. It happens at the end of the year in May. And so we learn a little bit about Bill Maxwell. He had been a Boy Scout, Explorer Scout, and finally an Eagle Scout. So that's first chapter. Second chapter, we meet Mark. I guess they live in the state of New York somewhere, and the parents are uber rich. They're moving to New Hampshire. Leon and Anya. Leon is sort of a man of all trades to help out at the house, and Anya does the cooking and cleaning. And they're a married couple from Russia. Mark knows that really they're nannies. They take him to school, they pick him up, they cook and clean for him, because the parents are always gone. They're leaving Scarsdale, New York. Everything was staying just as it is because the parents want to have a house close to New York City because they might have to go there. They have bought a place in New Hampshire. Mark was able to fix it up however he wanted, but really he just wanted everything that was in his room the way he had it in Scarsdale. And he's sad to leave because they had been there for 3 years. It was the longest, I think it said that he had stayed in one place. He's moved so many times, and they just buy a new place, they fix it up, live there for a little while, and then they move to somewhere else. So he has now shown up to Mr. Maxwell's class, and Mr. Maxwell has pegged him as a slacker, a kid that has attitude. For the first 2 days, Mr. Maxwell had given the new boy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the kid felt shy, homesick. Maybe he was just trying to prove himself to be sort of tough. But after 22 years in the classroom, Mr. Maxwell could spot a slacker a mile away. So he's pegged him as a slacker. He kind of is in a way. He's sort of a short timer. He's only supposed to finish out his school year, and it's November, I think. The school year has already started, and he's only going to be staying there till the end of that school year, and then he'll go to a prep academy afterwards. So he really doesn't have any interest in making friends that he's going to have to leave. So it's very readable, very likable characters. Even though the teacher doesn't understand Mark's position, they're both still likable. I really like this so far. But I am going to put the audiobook on. I'm going to go back and forth, and of course you guys are my audiobook. So I will probably check in with you tomorrow. Yeah, that sounds likely. So it's been actually like a full day since starting A Week in the Woods by Andrew Clements, and I really like it. I got to 166 and I decided to stop and finish it here with you. I just made myself some tea. Let's finish A Week in the Woods. Gotta get my blanket though. It's kind of funny because even when it's really hot, I like to have my blanket on me. I just have shorts on underneath. Chapter 20. There's a heightened action going on right now, so that's kind of why I wanted to save it and read it with you. See, these are just good books. Okay, A Week in the Woods by Andrew Clements. There is growth. I like that there's growth. I think it's not a complicated story, especially as an adult. You can pretty much guess what's going to happen by halfway through the book. But it still resolves nicely. There's growth on both Mark's part and the teacher's part, Mr. Maxwell. It's just well written. There's good adventure. I'm not sure how I want to rate it. Again, it is very obvious what's going to happen. But again, I'm also not the target audience. It's definitely like a 4.1 something, if we could pick specific numbers. But very good. Very good. I'm very happy with that. I don't know what I'm going to read next. So I'm going to poke around and see. I know it should be something from my monthly TBR. Let's see. I'll surprise you. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. I'm glad I finally read it. Waiting for my family. We're going to go to Costco in a little bit. I am out here reading this book, which I meant to do a video earlier, but I haven't been reading it consistently. It's in verse, so it's super fast. Oh, this is The Door of No Return by Kwame Alexander. It's middle grade, and it's a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. I haven't had a lot of time to just sit and read it. I am halfway, so let me give you a little bit of an update, or I guess an introduction, really. It is about the Ashanti people in what is now Ghana, and it is historical fiction. It takes place in 1860. We are following Othen Kofi. Othen is the river which he was born in, and Kofi is for Friday. He was born on Friday. He has a cousin who's a week older who is also born on Friday, also named Kofi. His cousin is 2 inches taller, heavier, and just not, well, his father is the mayor, so he feels self-important and is not Kofi's friend. Igbo is actually his best friend, and then there's a brother who is Kwase, I believe is what his name is. We are learning a little bit about the culture, the routines. He goes to a school where he's learning the Queen's English, and he often has to recite Shakespeare, but he doesn't understand why. And they have to learn about the Queen's history and her, all of that, everything about her. There's a ceremony coming up. He will be 12, I guess, and he's going to become a man. He's asking a lot of questions. People won't tell him because they think he's too young to know and too young to understand. And it is really good. I just haven't had time. It's spring break. Both my kids are home. Life has just been a little busy this week. But I'm hoping to really sit with it today. I want to finish this today, I hope. So like I said, halfway through, I'm on page 179. I'm also out here hoping to dry my hair, but usually there's sun. We're gonna have rain in a couple days, so, but it's nice and warm. Oh, and please ignore all the weeds. That's what I've been working on this week. My husband and I are working on getting the weeds out of the yard. Let's read. There's a girl, of course, and her name is Amma, and there was just a really sweet scene. I really liked it. I'm not gonna lie, it's been several days, and I am determined to finish this book because, well, honestly, the video that you're watching now is supposed to be out in an hour, which it won't be, and I'm sorry for that. But it is, it's a difficult read. I have less than 50 pages, so I thought I'm having strong reactions. I just finished an emotional book. I'm in an emotional mood anyway, so I thought I would have you come with me, but it's really good. It's just really difficult to read. Might as well get comfy. Trying to not cry. What to say? The Door of No Return by Kwame Alexander. Kwame Alexander is one of those authors you just can't go wrong. I don't remember what I said I don't even know what to say about this book. I'm trying very hard not to cry. The first half of the book, we are following Coffee. We're seeing what the village life is like, what his days and nights are like. Here's a map. I love maps. Coffee is from Upper Quanta, and they had a war with Lower Quanta years ago, but they come together for a festival. And in it, Quasi, his brother, is an up-and-coming wrestling star, and so everybody is cheering for his brother. But something happens. From there, the book takes a very serious and very dark turn and is just absolutely amazing. Was very difficult to read. The whole book could probably be read in just a couple of hours, especially even for somebody like me. For some reason, and I think it's just because I was busy, it was spring break, my daughter was home from school for the week, and I think I was just busier, that I was only picking it up and doing 20 or 30 pages at a time. I think that's on me, and I'm not going to put it on the book, because the first half, seeing what Coffee's day-to-day life, his best friend Ibo, the girl that he likes, Ama, and his older brother, and then he has a cousin that he's kind of feuding with. The cousin is only a week older, but he's bigger and taller, and he likes to pick on Coffee. I'm not sure how I liked the ending, and I'm not going to say anything. I do think there was a plot hole, and if anybody's read this, I would love to talk about that with them. So I think I'm still trying to not cry. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. It is still a phenomenal book. Yeah, I highly recommend. Beautiful, beautiful cover. The 3 books I read this week. Wolf Hollow by Lauren Wolk is an emotional historical novel about a girl dealing with a bully. Second book, Week in the Woods, is just a fun adventure. It's not high literature. It's not, I mean, it is for kids. It was obvious to me what was going to happen, but it was fun, it was action-packed, and good character growth, all of that. Week in the Woods by Andrew Clements. Kwame Alexander, Door of No Return. Wow. Seriously, if you've read this, or if you're going to read it, I would love to hear from you and see if it was I just trying to read too fast and I missed something, but I think there's a plot hole. Sorry the video was late. Today's Monday when the video should be out. I chose to spend Sunday with my daughter. We moved her back into the dorms. We went grocery shopping. We took her out to eat, and then we drove back home. Sorry about it being late. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.